Also, is a good friend of mine is Roger S. Blackstock. He's the founder and CEO of Peer Synergy Group. He's also a colonel in the Navy?
Army. Retired colonel.
Retired colonel. All right, now Roger's been on my show, Lee, a couple times actually, just like you. Now, you do something that's really, really interesting in your Peer Synergy Group. The reason I wanted you on is so you can explain to me and Lee and others the difference in thinking styles between men and women and how people hear things. So, without any diagrams, because last time we did diagrams, I was critiqued on the radio by that group of people.
Ladies.
Yes, because they didn't understand what I was saying. So this is what I found fascinating. The 4 quadrants of the brain. Explain that as simple and as basic as you possibly can. You got a circle and it's split into 4 equal pieces. What are they?
Good. Okay, I think most people are familiar with left brain and right brain. But we also have the upper portion, which is cerebral brain. And then we have the lower portion, which is the limbic brain, which is where emotions are. So
there's 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so all of us may think in a different quadrant. So we all understand something completely different. There should be now is there a 5th for bodybuilders that really don't understand that?
Hey, what kind of comment was that, man?
I didn't know. Are you in bodybuilding? I didn't know.
Listen to them. For example, the analytical person loves to ask what questions because that's what they're focused on. What? I would say, Mike, that the left brain thinkers would relate more to the structure because they're into the process piece. They see the components and how they build, whereas a right brain thinker typically may be more resistant because they're just trying to get to the end without having to go through
That's what I was.
Again, you've got to approach it according to the thinking style. See, most sales organizations train their people to build relationships, just like that HR person. The worst thing that HR person could have done would be to walk in there and ask about that person's picture on the desk. Oh, I didn't realize you had 3 kids. Tell me about your kids. The person doesn't want to do that. They're not focused on the relationship side. And the only reason, well, you mentioned earlier, men and women, our brains are somewhat different. The fibers that separate a brain is thicker. It's called the corpus callosum in women than it is in men.
What we're smarter? Is that what it is?
No, actually, women have the ability, because of a thicker corpus callosum, to move neurons from the left brain to the right brain. Women have a much greater capacity to observe things, a much greater ability to communicate. Women typically will use about 20,000 words a day. Men use around 7,000 words a day.
That's why my wife manipulates me so quick? She's got the edge, don't you? I know it.
This morning,
by the time I think about what happened.
30,000 words this morning.
Their capacity for expressing emotions is much greater than men.
Absolutely astonishing. It really is. All right, tell us about Vistage real quick, too.
Yeah. Vistage is a organization, 50-year-old organization, that what it does is it works with business executives, predominantly CEOs, Chief Information Officers. And we put groups of up to 16 CEOs in a room who commit to meet one day. Vistage chair, I meet with each of my members 2 hours a month on an individual basis to help hold them accountable, to help them with their goal setting, to help them with their vision of the company.
You're a smart guy, Roger.
I don't know about that.
You're a smart guy. You do, and you do a great job, too, of communicating. And you're personality-wise, you're like Lee, too, and myself. Overall, just outstanding.
Gotta be honest.